Hi everyone, welcome back for another episode of Adams for the Love of Movie Picks. This time around we're going to be talking about the 1999 film October Sky, starring Jake Gyllenhaal, Laura Dern. It's also got Chris Cooper, William Lee Scott, Chad Lindbergh, and Chris Ellis. Just checking, I think that's the extent of the well-known actors in this one. So, October Sky is based around the true story of Homer Hickam and the Rocket Boys. Jake Gyllenhaal plays Homer Hickam. So in 1957, the first man-made satellite was launched into space by the Russians, Sputnik. And it inspired Homer, who lived in a small mining town called Colwood, West Virginia, to get into the start of amateur model rocket building and learn everything that he could about rockets, and eventually would lead him one day to be, part of NASA. It's quite an incredible story, the kid coming from a town that basically nobody, there's two things really that you do in Colwood. You're basically either a miner or a coal miner, because that's what the town is built around, is the coal mine, or you go off and play football. Well, Homer saw a different future. Rather than mining and or playing football, although he did try the latter and failed to succeed. So basically, it's a movie that the first time that I ever actually saw it was in high school. Believe it or not, I can't remember the class that they taught it, but because it was part of an actual history, like it's part of actual history, it had educational motives behind it. We actually were able to watch it in school. And I gotta tell you, it's a really good, well done movie. Great choice of actors to play the various characters. Being in 1999, this is very early in Jake Gyllenhaal's career. I think he did a phenomenal job playing Homer Hickam. A brilliant choice of Laura Dern as Miss Riley, the teacher who encouraged and inspired the Rocket Boys to do their thing. And I love Chris Cooper as the dad. So, he is a big man in the mine. A lot of the guys look up to him. He's obviously Homer Hickam's father. John Hickam is who Chris Cooper plays. Just basically, there's a lot of pressure on Homer to be more like his dad. His brother Jim is already going to be a football player. He's got a scholarship lined up. So basically, they're looking at Homer to join the mine. Or go into the mine with his father. But he sees a different path. And it's really quite remarkable how these guys in this small town in 1957 do the things that they do with amateur rockets. Rockets had only really just recently become a thing, and for the most part, rockets were strictly for military purposes, as weapons, as opposed to instruments of going into space. So there's very limited resources these kids had to work with to figure out how to make these rockets. So it's really quite remarkable what they did. But yeah, I highly recommend it. It's a great family film. It's like I said, it's just really well done, and the acting choices the actors that they picked to play these real life characters that the movie's based around are quite remarkable. So yeah, do yourself a favor if you've never seen October Sky. Check it out. You will not be disappointed. It's one of those films that just is got to be on your checklist of movies to watch, if for sure. Not sure if it's available on any streaming platforms, but it's certainly available wherever movies are sold. And there you are, folks. A little bit shorter video, but I just want to make sure I provide you something this week since I missed last week. Hopefully we'll be back next week, but like I said, being the holidays are coming up, I'll be a little bit hit and miss with the movies up until January. So there you are, folks. You take care of yourselves. Have a great night, and we'll see you next week, hopefully.